All right, Bible readers, it is time for another quick Bible study, and today it comes from our reading in Luke 7 through 9, and the title is Follow Me. Hey, if you've read the Bible at all, or if you're familiar with Jesus Christ, he walked around and literally said to men, follow me. And I'm going to break down and argue that there are two distinct types of men that he said this to. And I think this applies to all of us today, men, women, children, whatever. All right, so there are two distinct kinds of people that Jesus spoke two powerful words to. The words are, follow me. Simple statement, right? Complex responses from people. So these people are those that dropped everything and followed him, and those that hesitated. So let's look at it. And the question is, which one will you be? And here's the amazing thing. We get to make a new choice every day, every moment, if we're being clear-minded about it. So think about when Jesus was walking around, and if he said to you, follow me, and you're like, I got something to do, Jesus. And then he walks on. And that was potentially it. That was probably your one opportunity to follow the Lord in that sense. Doesn't mean that person couldn't, eventually come back around and get saved or whatever. I'm not dooming that person eternally. I'm just simply saying in that moment, I don't think Jesus came back around and said, hey, you ready to follow me now? I don't think that's the way that happened. So let's read a couple of examples. Luke 5:27 says, and suffer these things, he went, I'm sorry, let me start over. Luke 5:27. And after these things, he went forth and saw a publican named Levi. Okay, so this is Jesus, comes to this man named Levi, who is sitting at the receipt of custom, and he said unto him, follow me. I wonder what that sounded like. Sometimes, look, and I don't mean to be irreverent, but was it like, what did that sound like to Levi? Was it like, follow me, or how did Levi perceive that? Or was it just as simple as me saying the words right here and now? Was it just simply follow me? What was the voice inflection that Jesus used when he told a man something? And then look at Levi's response. Super short sentence, super short verse, Luke 5:28, it says, and he left all, rose up and followed him. Hey, we could read that and boom, move on. But let's break it down a little bit, because you know me. So think about how this sentence is structured. The first thing it says is, he left all. What? How could he do that? He left all, but look, then he rose up. So go back to the first verse, or the first verse that we read. Sitting at the receipt of custom. He's sitting down. Jesus says, follow me. And somehow, you can argue with God if you don't like the order of this thing, or if you think, hey, there's an error in the Bible, but somehow Levi left all. Then he got up. Think about the mindset. For Levi, he was done. Whatever he was doing, he was done. Then he got up and he followed Jesus. Have you ever thought, I want to change a habit? And oh, you try so hard, and I've been there. I still am in a lot of ways, right? But what I know from experience is that if I really want to change something, it starts right here. I decide. If I want to quit doing something, if I want to change, recently I went through, well, I say recently, over a year ago, I kind of made a radical change in my eating. I've always eaten pretty good, okay? But I wanted to up level it. And so I made some changes, and it happened right here. And I just made a decision, okay? And I've had lots of experiences like that in life, but I've also had the kind of experiences like we're going to read next. So let's just read it. Luke 9:59 is a completely different example. And he, okay, so this is Jesus Christ again, and he said unto another. Isn't it interesting? Levi gets named because somehow Jesus Christ knew he was going to follow him. But then in this other example, he said unto another. Wouldn't that stink to just, this person's listed in the Bible, but they're just listed as another. But he says, follow me. But he said, Lord, suffer me first to go bury my father. Well, that's pretty serious, right? When we think about the important things in life, burying your father is a pretty big deal, right? I mean, it's probably in the top 10 of, important things that a person might do in their lifetime. But it stopped this man from following the Lord. And so my challenge to you, Christian, is what is stopping you from following the Lord? As I mentioned above, we in the dispensation of the grace of God, it's not so much this physical, like, oh, there's Jesus and he's saying, follow me, so I guess I'll follow him, right? No, it's different. When we become children of God, we really, in every moment of our life, we can choose to follow God, or we can choose not to. We can say, nah, I'm not going to read my Bible today because I woke up late, or, I got a busy day in front of me, or, whatever drama is going on in somebody's head. And there's all these reasons, right? And it's like, And a lot of Christians kind of go through their life in their relationship with the Lord of kind of like, meh, kind of those lame, weak responses, right? Not this, not coming from a position of like, I'm a child of God. I have a responsibility to ensure that I know what God said. And I take that responsibility seriously. Can you imagine being one of the disciples and Jesus is talking, and I know this is ridiculous, right? But can you imagine the disciples are like, oh yeah, oh, what'd you say, God? Oh yeah, I got a text, I'm sorry. But that's the way we live our life today. We're distracted by all these things. And the reason I think it's important that this particular man that we read that had to bury his father, the Lord's trying to tell us something. Don't even let the super important things distract you from following the Lord. That's all I got for you. I hope that you get something from this. Hey, share this video if you think it might help somebody else. Subscribe to my channel. I need 4 more subscribers to go live on YouTube, and that's my current big goal. So help me out. Thanks for being here, and I hope that you have a good Bible read.